Hey everybody, it is day 18 of the 31 Baby Steps FlyLady series. Today we're going to talk about the FlyLady's 11 commandments. So not the 10 commandments that we have in the Bible, but the 11 commandments, which are kind of rules to live by when you're following the FlyLady's methods. So we're going to talk about those a little bit later today. You can find them in her book, but they're also on her website, and I'll show you where to find them. I'm going to have to do some digging though, but I know they're in there. But first we got to do our regular routines for the day. So first things first, we get dressed to lace up shoes, which I am dressed. Let me show you my shoes. There's my shoes today, my purple laces. Right, so now that we're dressed and ready to take on the day, let's go make our bed. Feel like my bed looks the same every morning, but here we go. Let's go make it. This is the before. I'll show you the after in a second. Okay, so today it only took 1 minute to complete. So now let's go look at our kitchen sink. All right, nice clean sink waiting for me this morning, and clean dishes. So it's time to unload. Didn't have a whole bunch, at least on the top rack. Top rack's pretty empty, but the bottom rack has a bunch. So let's unload these, and I'll be right back. An empty dishwasher, and you're ready to start yet another day. Time for another 2-minute hotspot. I'm still working on these clothes, but I'm going to try to get them done today. So set your timer for 2 minutes and see what you can get done in your hotspot area. Here's what I ended up with. So we're good. Nice cleared spot, but not quite. I got all the tags off of everything, but I didn't get everything folded. So I've got these things folded and these still waiting to be folded. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish them just so I can say that this is done. I also put my watch back on. It was sitting on the table as well, which reminded me to put it on. So set your timer for 2 minutes, see what you can get accomplished. You may be surprised. Now we're going to do a 5-minute room rescue. This is what it looks like now. And I'll show you what I can get done this time around. All right, and here's what it looks like after. Okay, so this is what I did. All right, I had the green laundry hamper was in front of here, which was kind of in the way. So I pulled that to the side and I have put some of his toys that were just scattered throughout the room in there. Put his crane back over here. He had some dishes from his kitchen that I put back in there as well. Let's see here. Put my throw, got it out of the floor. Cleared off this whole area here. So now all that's on it's things that we use each day. And in the process, I got some things that need to be put away. So like this pile here, I don't even remember what this was. Oh yeah, this is directions to Xander's racetrack. So that's going to go back in his room in the Ziploc bag that holds all his instructions for things. Some of this is some paperwork for the fitness thing that I'm signed up for, as well as some things that I just need to go through first to decide if I'm going to throw them away or not, like magazines and stuff like that. All of this is trash, and then I found a hair clip that needs to go back in my room, and my husband has some tools. The radio box that was sitting out, I put the radio back in it. It's sitting right there. My husband's got to tell me what to do with these things. I've got radios galore for some reason for the car, so got to figure out what to do with that. Straightened up his shoes. There's some floor plans for what we're going to do with the additions. I put that over there on his table so he can get to it easy. So that's what I got done in 5 minutes. So set your clock for 5 minutes. You'd be surprised at what you can get done. All right, it's time for the 15-minute declutter, and today's declutter session is going to be under the sink. Now this area I've been putting off, but I actually now have to get it done because we had a little mouse infestation. And so we've gotten all of the mice gone, but now I need to get everything out, clean up the mess they left behind, and aluminum foil and stuff. So that way, hopefully we don't get any more critters. You don't need diapers, buddy. Okay. Anyway. So I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes, even though this is really overwhelming just looking at it. But set your timer, pick your place that you're going to declutter, set your timer for 15 minutes, and see how far you get. Go. Okay, so this is what all I've gotten done in 15 minutes. I've cleaned these bins as I went because they were gross. Got everything kind of organized by type. And I'm going to put these all back in here. And we will finish the rest tomorrow. So that was a good 15 minutes. Got quite a bit more done than I thought I would in that 15-minute time frame. So set your timer for 15 minutes. You never know what you're going to get done. Okay, everybody, I told you we would talk about the 11 commandments for the FlyLady. The easiest way to find her 11 commandments, because I mentioned they're also on her website. So if you have the book, they're in the book. But if you don't have the book, then you can go to www.flylady.net, which should look similar to this. It may look a little different when you're looking at it. And then there's a little search box right here. Type in 11 commandments. And when you type that in and hit enter, and then it takes you straight to them. So, our 11 commandments. Okay, so that would be these here, because she also has 11 Fly Sense commandments for shopping. So it's these. Our 11 commandments include pampering. Okay. And basically she wrote this back in December. Okay, so these are the 11 commandments listed down here. FlyLady's 11 commandments: keep your sink clean and shiny. Of course, we know that because that was the very first assignment she gave us. Get dressed every morning even if you don't feel like it. Don't forget your lace-up shoes. The reason why she stresses don't forget the lace-up shoes is because if you forget them, you're more apt to just kick off your shoes and things like that, whereas it's harder. You actually have to untie your laces and things like that if you're wanting to take off your lace-up shoes. Do your morning and before bed routine every day. So if you pay attention, these first three were kind of the first three things that we had set up in the baby steps. Don't allow yourself to get sidetracked by the computer. So this is a big one, especially if you're one that loves social media a lot. Don't let it overtake your day. I try to limit mine to about 30 minutes at a time if I'm doing it. And I say, okay, at the end of 30 minutes, I'm done. A FlyLady would say 15 minutes because she likes 15-minute increments for everything. So if you get sidetracked really easily, then it might be easier for you to do 15 minutes for your limit. Pick up after yourself. If you get it out, put it away. This is one I am horrible about. But it's one that we kind of stress on our kids a lot. So if you think about it, it should still come into play now that we're adults. So pick up after yourself. If you get it out, put it away. Don't try to do 2 projects at once. One job at a time. So in her world, you don't multitask. So you go one thing at a time. For 2 reasons. One thing, it keeps you from getting out too much at once. And then for one thing, whenever you multitask, a lot of times you're not putting forth your best effort to both jobs. You're either focusing more on one than the other, or you're trying to divide up your focus among the 2 and you don't do either one well. Don't pull out more than you can put back in an hour. So this is talking about whenever we're decluttering or something like that. Don't pull out more than you can put back in an hour. Or if you're working on a big project, don't pull out so much of that big project that you can't get it done in an hour. Just pull out what you can for that hour and work on it. A good example of this is, my eBay room is a huge room that I'm having to declutter. So instead of doing the whole thing at once, I did a little bit at a time. I pulled out one box at a time, went through it, put it back. Another box, went through it, put it back. So that way I knew I could always get it done in that amount of time. Do something for yourself every day, maybe every morning and night. Okay? This one is really hard for me because I don't really do something for myself every day. Much less doing it twice a day. Because we know this from the day that we got to pamper ourselves to celebrate what we've accomplished so far. And that was the first time I've done anything, and actually the last time I've done anything special for myself. So there you go. Work as fast as you can to get the job done. This will give you more time to play later. So that's what she talks about like the 27 fling boogie. You should do it really quick, so it's done, so that way you're not so focused on cleaning. And that's why she uses timers, is to go as fast as you can in that amount of time. Kind of a really big focus on that. Number 10, smile even when you don't feel like it. It is contagious. Make your mind up to be happy and you will be. This is a big thing. I know she's got songs and things like that in her fly shop, and some of those songs are really upbeat. I used to listen to a radio show, and she'd play those songs during the radio show, and I loved them because they were really upbeat and got you in a good mood. Though even though you're cleaning a room, you could dance around while you were doing it, and so you just kind of felt a little goofy, and that whole thing just made you smile. It made it not seem like work anymore. So if you are interested in that, you can get those things in her fly shop. Don't forget to laugh every day. Pamper yourself. You deserve it. So have fun with stuff. Don't be so serious about cleaning. Cleaning is supposed to be fun. And that's one thing the FlyLady really stresses. We're supposed to be having fun while we're cleaning. So have fun. Find something that's going to make you smile, something that's going to make you laugh every day, and use that to keep your spirits up. And then, of course, pamper yourself. You deserve it. So that kind of goes along with the other one where it talked about doing something for yourself every day. So there you have it. Those are the 11 commandments for FlyLady. The ones that I really feel like I need to work on are picking up after myself. If I get it out, put it away. And still focusing on don't try to do 2 projects at once. I kind of multitask that way. And then sometimes I'll pull out more than I can put back in an hour. And of course, doing something for myself every day. So there you have it. Those are her 11 commandments. If you can't find that you can do all of these at once, maybe pick 1 or 2 to focus on for a couple of weeks. Then add another one and do that for a couple of weeks. And then another 1 or 2, do that for a couple weeks. And then before you know it, you're following all of her 11 commandments, just like that. So anyway, that's what we were going to focus on for today. So I hope you enjoyed this. Again, this is found for free on her website, or you can get it out of her book where she goes a little bit more into detail on each one. So I just kind of explain what I took on each one, but if you want to see what she thinks of each one more specifically, get the book and read it. It's definitely a good read. Okay, the dishes are washing, and I have a nice shiny sink ready for tomorrow, and a silver rag sitting out for tomorrow as well. Okay, so tomorrow I'll be out and about running some errands, so it's going to be kind of warm. So I've got my sleeveless shirt, but I do have a sweater if I need to have it. Doubt I will, though. It's going to be really hot. Along with my khaki pants and my lace-up shoes ready to go. So lay out your clothes for tomorrow. All right, I hope you brushed your teeth. Pearly whites. I feel like such a dork that I show that every night. But anyway, so your before bed routine is done. You should be going to bed at a decent hour. I must admit I had to stay up a little late and finish up some work. So I did that. So I'm actually not getting to bed at a decent hour, but I'll be sleeping in tomorrow for the most part. So today we did we reviewed the FlyLady's 11 commandments. These are very important rules to kind of live by. There are things that were good reminders for me because there were things that I still wasn't doing. Like I wasn't picking up after myself. I wasn't only pulling out enough stuff that I could handle within an hour. That kind of thing. So those are mainly the 2 that were good reminders to me now. Everything else, for the most part, I'm doing already, but or I at least remember them. Those 2, for some reason, I'd forgotten, which of course shows in the way my house is right now. So good reminders though, and we're definitely making some progress. I can definitely see a difference in my house with the bedroom, and now the living room is almost done, and it's just such a huge difference having just those two rooms clean, much less in everything else in the house. So but we're gonna get there. It is day 18. We just finished day 18, so we're gonna go into day 19 tomorrow. So get you some sleep, and we will get started again tomorrow in the morning. I will talk to you all later. Bye.